Namaskar and a very good morning to all. I, Pratap Kumar Patra, Registrar General, on behalf of the High Court of Orissa, extend a heartiest welcome to all our honorable guests, judicial officers, officers of the registry, members of the bar, members of the print and electronic media, and all the dignitaries present today at the inaugural ceremony of virtual courts of the High Court and the Judgeship of Anugul, Dhenkanal, Jagatsinghpur, Jaspur, Keonjhar, Kendrapada, Kandhamal at Fulbani, Mayurbhanj at Baripada, Nayagarh, and Sundargarh. We are privileged to have amongst us Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, along with companion judges of the High Court of Orissa, who, despite their busy schedule, have graced this occasion. May I now seek the permission of the chair to kindly declare the event as open, sir?
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. Now, may I request my Lord Honorable Justice, Mr. Justice Subhasis Talpatra, Judge, High Court of Orissa, and Chairman, IT and AI Committee, to kindly present the welcome address.
Good morning to all. This Honorable Chief Justice, Justice Muralidhar, my esteemed colleagues, and Advocate General, and in the outstation destinations, those who are participating in this program, I extend our heartiest welcome to all of them. There is another occasion that should go down to the history of Orissa High Court. As the transformational steps that are being taken at the stewardship of our Chief Justice, there is the second phase for expanding the scope of the virtual courts of the Orissa High Court in different destinations. As we all know, in the first phase, we made the 10 such destinations in the district headquarters. I should refer those places: Balangir, Balasore, Bhadrak, Ganjam, Kalahandi, Khurda, Koraput, Puri, Sambalpur, and Rourkela. Rourkela, though not as a district headquarters, but we started there this virtual court. And that the inauguration of those court actually covered the 54% of the cases which are coming from those districts. Now it is the second phase. We are going to inaugurate another 10 virtual courts as an extension of the High Court. And those are Angul, Dhenkanal, Jagatsinghpur, Jajpur, Kandhamal, Kendrapada, Keonjhar, Mayurbhanj, Nayapara, and Sundargarh. And the opening of these virtual courts will cover the 34% of the pendency from the districts. Those are from those districts. And we hope that will immensely help to dispensing justice to the litigants through the High Court process. And the 10 are still remain to be inaugurated, and those will cover only 12% of the pendency from the districts. Hopefully, this is a very, I should say, it's a great stride towards taking the justice to the doorsteps, particularly when we decentralize the institution like High Court. We expect that it will produce the great results so far the dispensation of justice is concerned. For this purpose, I should like to take your attention what so far through the 10 outstation virtual courts we have achieved. From those stations, as on today, 168 e-filing has been done. Virtual hearing is 275, and the certified copy delivered 33. And number of online memo filed is 63. And we held the training programs for 38, and number of lawyers, 590, have been trained how to operate through this system. We all know that we have no other alternative but to transfer ourselves for the futuristic judicial system. Initially, we all know there will be the barriers of our habits, there will be the barriers of our accepting the technology, this very common phenomenon throughout the world. But for aspirational state like Orissa, we'll urge upon all the members of the legal fraternity to embrace it, because we strongly believe this will bring a very good result. And towards this, we have taken all these steps. And most importantly, what I should like to flag in this point, that the stakeholders of this legal fraternity must come with a very big steps to endorse, adapt, and function through this system. And that is where the bright future of the institution lies. I again thank you all for participating in this program. And I believe that you all understand that it is such an important mission that accept success, nothing could be aspired out of it. Thank you all.
Thank you, my lord, for the warm and heartfelt welcome extended to our honorable guests. In order to take the matters ahead, it is my utmost honor to humbly request Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, to inaugurate the virtual courts of the High Court in the Justice of Anugul, Dhenkanal, Jagatsinghpur, Jaspur, Keonjhar, Kendrapada, Kandhamal at Pulwani, Mayurbhanj at Baripada, Nayagad, and Sundargarh. Thank you, my lord. Now I would request Satyaprakash Rai Chaudhary, CPC of this court, to screen a short presentation on virtual courts of the High Court. Satya, please.
Welcome to the inauguration of virtual courts of High Court of Orissa. The High Court of Orissa has endeavored to make the access to justice easier and has strived hard to overcome the barriers created by the geographical distance by technology. The Honorable Supreme Court has recently remarked in a judgment that the High Court of Orissa has creatively used technology to bridge the time taken to travel from other parts of Orissa to Cuttack. Earlier, the High Court of Orissa during the COVID-19 pandemic had established video conferencing cabins in every district headquarters so that the advocate could participate in the hearing virtually from anywhere. This resulted in better access of justice for the litigants too. Following the success of the video conferencing in a historic step in the annals of the Indian judiciary, the High Court of Orissa established 10 virtual courts in the districts based upon the ratio of the cases and distance from the High Court. These 10 virtual courts were inaugurated by Honorable Dr. Justice T.Y. Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of the India, on 3rd February 2023. After the inauguration till date, a total of 275 hearings have taken place without any glitch whatsoever. The advocates all over the state have welcomed the innovative initiative, and some advocates are now regularly appearing before the virtual court of the High Court. Every virtual court has been provided ICT devices which will include 55-inch television for interacting with High Court, speakers, all-in-one computer, document visualizer to display the documents, stand cameras so that court can see the advocates clearly, among other items. Attached to every virtual court, there is a back office where advocates in the districts can file their cases through e-filing, can file mention memos through an online portal, appear virtually through dedicated cabins, and avail other services through trained, young, energetic High Court staff. Today, the High Court of Orissa will be inaugurating another 10 the virtual courts in the Justices of Anugul, Dhenkanal, Jagatsinghpur, Jajpur, Keonjhar, Kendrapada, Kandhamal at Pulwani, Mayurbhanj at Baripada, Nayagad, Sundargarh. This will undoubtedly enhance access to justice for the people of Orissa. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Satya, for screening such a wonderful video. Now may I request Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, to kindly deliver the inaugural address to the honorable guests and dignitaries present. Your Lords.
Slightly over 1 month, we are inaugurating today virtual courts of the High Court. in 10 more districts of Odisha. I'm delighted to have the participation of not only my colleagues but present physically and online, but also the Advocate General of the state of Odisha and all the district judges present at the various locations, the lawyers and the newly elected office bearers of the bar associations of various districts, the staff present in these various districts, including the persons who have gone from the High Court, the additional section officers, the assistant section officers, and the staff who are constituting the team in the back offices of these virtual courts, the judicial officers present there in all the districts, the local administration represented by both the collectorate as well as the police, all the people watching this event online. This is a very important step, as Justice Talapatra was just mentioning. This is a very important step for the High Court, but most importantly for the people of Odisha. All these measures that are being taken under the guidance of the E-Committee of the Supreme Court are only to improve access to justice to the people of Odisha. No doubt, it is of huge benefit to the lawyers practicing in the districts that they can appear in the High Court in virtual mode, file their cases in virtual mode, mention their cases in virtual mode, get copies, certified copies in virtual mode. But most importantly, it reduces the costs for the litigant. It increases the efficiency, and it assures speedy justice, at least in matters which require immediate orders. There are certain kinds of cases in which the filing is more than other kinds of cases. I'm referring here to bail applications, anticipatory bail applications, writ petitions. These are the major areas in which we have the filings in the High Court. So when we launched on this scheme of having virtual courts for the High Court, two criteria were important for us. We analyzed the total pendency of the cases in the High Court and understood from which districts these filings originate. Like more than 30% of the filing comes from just two districts, which is Cuttack and Khurda. But that is not to say that the other districts do not contribute, but contribute in various differing percentages. So when we set about to have virtual courts and had to decide where to establish them first, one criteria was the contribution to the filing in the High Court from that district. And that is how the first 10 courts came about, one including Rourkela, which, as Justice Talapatra mentioned, was not a district headquarter itself, but the filing was substantial from Rourkela in the High Court. The second, of course, was the geographical distance. How well would the virtual court inaugurated in a district serve the needs of the surrounding districts? This was another criteria. So I remember how the bar in Sundargarh was upset that we were not opening a virtual court in Sundargarh. And at that point, we assured Sundargarh that no, very soon we will be opening a virtual court. And that has happened today. And I'm sure the bar in Sundargarh is very satisfied with this move, as are the bars in Anugul, Denkanal, Jagatsinghpur, Jajpur, Kandhamal, Kendrapada, Kyonjar, Nayagad, Sundargarh. So we are geographically covering a very wide area in Odisha. Now, the first phase opening of virtual courts has produced very encouraging results. What Justice Talapatra read out were the results for just over a month of hearings. And I can speak for my colleagues sitting here that we've had absolutely no difficulty in listening to cases, having cases mentioned before us. Our Deputy Registrar and Registrar Judicial have had no difficulty in mentioning of matters made from the districts here virtually. And it's all going without a hitch and absolutely smoothly. And the feedback I have from the districts, from the various district court lawyers, is very, very encouraging. So this is the future of not just the Odisha judiciary, but it's the future of the Indian judiciary. And I can make bold to say this because not just once, several occasions, we've had acknowledgement from the highest court, from the Supreme Court of India, and in particular the Chief Justice of India, of how Orissa is leading the way in all the digital transformation, adaptation of technology, not only in e-filing, but in virtual hearings as well. In fact, we have information that other states are also looking at ways of increasing the spread of the benches of the High Court. And this is very encouraging for us, the first phase opening and the results that we have from the first phase opening. I must not only compliment the district judges in the first phase, the 10 districts where we opened the virtual courts, and the lawyers there who adapted to the technology so well, but I must certainly compliment all our assistant section officers, a young team of ASOs, whom we sent there for handholding, initial phase of training of the staff in the districts, and the Glasgow staff we sent along with the ASOs, who've manned these back offices of the virtual courts so well. They've gone beyond their call of duty. Very often we've had instances of lawyers coming to the ASOs and asking what is the format that they should adopt for filing of a writ petition or a bail application or an anticipatory bail application. Apart from this, I must also compliment our own master trainers who have been very helpful in training the advocates. Justice Talapatra mentioned we've already had 39 such trainings, and we've covered nearly 600 lawyers in this training. The same exercise would be repeated for the 10 districts in where we have opened virtual courts now. This has been another feature of the Odisha judiciary, which is different from what is happening elsewhere, the concept of hands-on training. Our own judicial officers who are master trainers have actually done hands-on training for not just the lawyers, but their law clerks as well, working in the districts. And this, I'm sure, will help usher in a faster change in adaptation of technology for the working of the courts. Odisha is certainly leading the way in a wide range of transformative steps of the judiciary. And this today is one other very important step that we are taking. With this, we would have covered 20 districts of the state of Odisha. Cuttack, of course, has the High Court right in its doorstep. So we are looking at 9 other districts. If the demand arises from those districts, and if the filing increases in those districts, we will certainly spread the network of virtual courts of the High Court in those districts as well. I'm thankful to the bar in all the districts, not just these 10 districts where we're opening the virtual courts today, but the first phase of 10 districts, for responding so well to this measure, for taking to this change so well, and understanding that this is the way the future is. We're looking at a future in Orissa where all these courts we're talking of, not the 10 courts in the first phase, but the 10 courts today, and all the other courts in Orissa would actually be paperless. The day is not far off, and all our records in all these districts are digitized. All the judges holding courts in all these districts will be holding paperless courts. It's not very far off. So this will transform the way the Odisha judiciary works, how we find space to keep our records, how lawyers function. The judges are ahead of the lawyers in adapting to technology. The lawyers have to catch up, but the judges are willing to lend a helping hand. This hand-holding will continue. The hand-holding by the High Court, by the master trainers will continue till every lawyer in the districts feels confident enough to adapt technology in his or her individual working. You will find that the lawyer's offices look different. The way you organize your papers will be different. The way you organize yourself for a day's work will be different. And this change is all for the better. As I keep repeating, all these changes are not just for our own convenience, but ultimately for the convenience of the litigant public in Odisha. All these measures are indeed to improve access to justice in Odisha, improve the functioning of the judiciary and of the lawyers, so that better quality justice can be delivered to the people of Odisha. Thank you, all of you, for participating in this morning's function. It's a very heartwarming and a happy day for all of us in the Odisha judiciary. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for the warm and heartfelt address to our honorable guests and the words of encouragement. Now, May I request my Lord Honorable Dr. Justice Sanjeev Kumar Panigrahi, Judge, High Court of Orissa, and member of the IT and AI Committee to kindly present the vote of thanks. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, my brother and sister judges who are present both online and offline. Learned Advocate General, the district judges of all districts, appearance of newly elected bar members, and registry staff, CPC, distinguished guests, representatives from print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. I consider it to be a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all who have made it convenient to attend the inauguration of these 10 branches of virtual High Court of Orissa organized by the High Court of Orissa. Today, I can say this is a day trials with technology. So, because of the technology, this height has been achieved. I would like to thank our beloved Dr. Chief Justice Muralidhar for his constant help and guidance that radiated a source of energy within us. We are deeply grateful to my Lord Chief Justice, who is animated spirit behind the e-initiative and digitization drive in Orissa Judiciary, for presiding over this function and for his enlightening address. His address was unique as always because of the novelty of ideas as well as for his inimitable style. His presence today in this function has immensely enhanced its importance. Sir, I thank you for presiding the function and your address. The transition to digitization from paper and paperless courts and now the benches of the virtual high courts would not have been possible without an idea of innovation like this, which is the living example of best initiative to take justice to people's doorstep. Lauding the Orissa High Court's model, advising other high courts to replicate, recently the Supreme Court has stated in a judgment, and I quote, the High Court of Orissa has creatively utilized technology to bridge the time to travel, taken to travel from other parts of Orissa to Cuttack. Indeed, other high courts must replicate the use of technology to ensure that access to justice is provided to widely dispersed areas. This will ensure that citizens have true access to justice by observing and participating in the proceedings before the High Court in cases of concern to them. Unquote. The Chief Justice of India has time and again lauded our e-initiative. He says the Orissa High Court has been truly in the forefront in implementing initiative of e-committee of the Supreme Court of India. I am very proud to witness the first of the many transformations in action at the Orissa High Court, which are being spearheaded by Chief Justice Muralidhar. Unquote. These words strongly acknowledge our e-initiative and resonate across the country. I would like to thank all the honorable judges who are present both physically and virtually, who blessed us with their presence. I must express my deep gratitude to the members of the IT committee headed by Justice Talapatra, Justice Raman, Justice T.R. Das, all the members of the committee for their presence. Words are not enough to thank to our CPC team for their constant endeavor to shape the IT initiative. You are the true foot soldiers at the vanguard of new tomorrow. I also express my sincere thanks to all the members of the district judiciary who are the backbone of our judicial system, bar members, and other esteemed guests who have taken keen interest in the program and have taken time out for their busy schedule to attend the event. Lastly, I would like to thank the judicial officers and staff of other allied agencies who have worked with great dedication to make this event a success. They supported in all our possible manner to organize this kind of event. Thanks for your attention. Thank you. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.
Thank you, sir. for such warm and kind words. Now may I request the Honorable Chair to declare the inaugural function as closed.
Yes, please.
The inaugural program is declared closed.